Hello everyone and welcome back to Super Mario Odyssey. In the last episode, we beat Knuckle-Tech, the boss of the Sand Kingdom, and we've technically unlocked our way onto the next kingdom. Oh, there's a sexy lady Goomba. We'll deal with her in a second. But yes, this episode we're going to be cleaning up the remaining moons that we can get in the Sand Kingdom. So, to start off with, we've got this sinkhole that's appeared here, and this only appears after you defeat Knuckle-Tech. And we can actually just, it looks like a mad thing, but we can hop down into it for a little secret area. Because this game has given me enough ice physics already. Obviously everything that's kind of underground in this area ends up being ice physics. There's a couple of purplums together here. We're making decent progress with the purplums. We've got 70 out of 100. We will, of course, be getting all the purplums at this point. Because in basically all of the kingdoms you can get all of the purplums relatively early on. So generally there's kind of like three chunks to oh bugger. There's three chunks to each level. There's the kind of normal chunk when you first get to each level. There is stuff that you can do post kind of world peace, and then there's stuff you can do post game that we'll be getting to a little later. That's where you might have noticed on the graphs when we get the visualizer up that there's two various things. There's a symbol of a moon and a symbol of a Bowser, and I'll talk about the difference between those once we've beaten what is considered to be the main game. Don't squeeze me! Oh. Right, here we can actually wall jump between these guys, and then when they're at the top, wall jump all the way up to the top. And there is, of course, this is a secret area, so it has two moons in it. First off, Ice Cave Treasure, and then, of course, we're here at the end anyway. So when we hop outside, this is quite cool. We actually emerge at a Jaxi stop above the Turd Temple, which first off gives us the Jaxi Ruins, it's not actually called the Turd Temple, checkpoints, and it gives us the moon, the Treasure of Jaxi Ruins. Wonderful. With that, what do we get in this other chest? Funding. Nice. From that, what we want to do is warp to the Ruins Round Tower. So this is where we got the top of the tower story moon a couple of episodes ago. And there's a couple of new things here. There's this freak, Glydon, who we'll deal with in a minute, and there are some spark pillars now around. Spark pylons even. This one is very handy because there's a very quick way to the top of the inverted pyramid that avoids us having to climb the inverted pyramid. It's great. So with that, there's a couple of weird things we can do up here. Number one, where we fought Harriet, is the animated lump. And if we spook the animated lump and ground pound on it... Oh, do I have to hit it with a hat first, I think? We have to stun the lump. Yes, we do. And then ground pound the lump. The lump turns into a moon. I think the lump is the moon, is the implication there. There we go. So, with that, there is a Jaxi Taxi stop up here, and if we use the Jaxi Taxi stop, we haven't actually shown this so far, we can call the Jaxi here. This name is also particularly amusing because in English slang Jaxi means ass, as in to kick someone up the Jaxi, so it's quite amusing to me. Anyway, what we want to do is, around here there is a plinth here, which is missing its Jaxi. Again, it sounds like it's not got an asshole. Is it this one here? Oh shit, it is, isn't it? Oop, there we go. Make sure you hit the top of it. Not falling off. Oh, I know this place, but my days of standing around are done. I like the implication that actually, it's not that they turn into the statues when they die, it's more that they come alive from the statue form to the animated Jaxi, which is quite cool. Now, from up here, a lot of people will tell you to do this on a Jaxi. They are completely wrong and it's so much harder. What you actually want to do from here is just do a long jump. And in midair you can adjust yourself to quite nicely land square atop this pillar and grab on the lone pillar. Makes sense. Wonderful. Now what we want to do is... Right, there we go. So So I mentioned this in the past, that I did a lot of... I've done my writing for this quite a while ago and got notes written. And my notes at this point said, cut to the base of the stone pillar. And it's not, and then go into the smaller hole. And it's not entirely clear what I meant by go into the, well, either cut to the base of the stone pillar or go into the smaller hole. But there's a couple of purplums here, but this here is the smaller hole. I assume I meant the base of the stone pyramid, of the inverted pyramid, not the stone pillar, but there we go. These guys say, couldn't jump in if I wanted to. Oh, nope, not going in there, not me, not ever. Mario, however, has no such fear. So, this is back in Deepest Underground where we fought Knuckle-Tech, and hidden over here is a little something. There's a load of fucking mummies, but we're after this fella, which we can capture. This is a coin coffer. He produces coins at this point, so we have just produced a load of coins, and he can fire them back out. So he produces about 30 coins when you get in him, but if we hit X, you will see he fires coins. And if you look in the top left, those are our coins. We fire our own funding at these bastards, but you will notice perhaps, when we've seen these before, though only briefly, if you hit them with Cappy, they just, they get stunned and then they get back up again. They're like Chumbawamba, if you get that reference. But coins apparently are the only way to keep them down forever. But actually hitting all three without dying is slightly harder than you might necessarily think. Let's fight him again. As you can see as well, he fires coins basically as fast as you can mash the button. Because I'm doing quite a lot of mashing here. But when you fought enough of these... Hello? Oh, we're not done yet. I've got about 1,000 coins, so I can be fairly careless. Ah, there we go. A shiny one appears, and when you kill him, turns indeed into a power moon. Wonderful. We'll see coin coffers again at some point. There's a much more nerve-wracking thing with them in a couple of kingdoms' time. Ugh. But let's ignore these dead dudes now. Yeah, if we hit them with our hats, it stuns them, but they don't die. Apparently finances are the only way to kill them. There's something in a lot of cultures about, you know, like gold coins and the dead. Greeks were big on it. Anyway, once we're out here, what we want to do is head due north from here. So here there's 5 cactuses. Actually, you know what? We don't want to go to the cactuses yet because we want a Jaxi for this. But fortunately, there's a Jaxi stop right here. I assume I've already got this moon, but hey, let's see what happens if we see a moon we've already got. Yes. Once you've already got a moon, it just becomes like 5 quid, which is quite nice. But we want to use this Jaxi because, so we want to hit these cactuses. Doing so as Mario is just bad for our health. But if we line up with our Jaxi right along here, then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It's the tall one that we actually want. And indeed contains a power moon. Wonderful. Right, now we've got a new area to go to entirely. There's about 2 major areas of the Sand Kingdom we actually haven't been to yet. We can get to this one from that spark panel, as you can see, or we can come around to it this way. So, if we hop in here, there are 3 purplums, which is nice. But the main thing we want to do is the Jaxi stop here, and there is also a checkpoint, the Northwest Reaches, and a secret area in here. So this is like a bullet bill maze. Try that again. So this is like a bullet bill maze kind of area, and my main advice is be really cautious on well, don't do that. This would be my main advice for one, quite obviously. My second bit would be cautious on accelerating. Because I believe accelerating also makes your bill die faster. At this platform, I'm actually going to recharge the bill a bit to stop them from dying, and what we want to do is come around to the... What we actually want to do is come to the right here, where there are a shit ton of purplums. We're actually polishing up purplums quite well here. Let's grab this one. I don't know if its timer starts from when I possess it or from when it flies around generally. But with this one we want to come up here, and we will reload our bill here. Through that windmill contraption is where we would want to go for the end of the level, but as ever, secret levels tend to house 2 moons. Come on. There we go. So the one we want is actually over here, and I really should not have boosted there. This is just a very precarious maneuvering one, so I suggest not boosting at all. This is what I really like because my controller is a GameCube controller. It has many problems that I've said. It's very loud, it has no rumble, it has no motion controls, but what it does have is the little notches at the 8 kind of main directions, which I really like, and no other controller has ever really done that since, and it really saddens me because there I can just go perfectly in any cardinal direction. It makes navigating sections like this much easier. Anyway, we're going to swap over to another final bill. With this thing, again, I would not hugely recommend boosting. If you feel the thing, like the windmill is catching up with you, move towards the middle where you're moving faster than its rotational speed. And, ooh, we were surprisingly close there. Grab our second moon of here. Wonderful. Let's head outside. And this pops us out on the roof where there is a timer challenge. So this one is, have you learned how to wall jump? I enjoy these. They're certainly much better than, you know, the secret levels in Sunshine for actually, like, testing your, whether you're comfortable yet with the platforming skills of the game. Cool way of doing it. Anyway, with that, let's warp over to the Moai habitat. Now, I pointed this out when we were last here. There was a P-switch that was frozen. It's now unfrozen since we've achieved world peace, and reveals a pathway to us. And then it hides, but we have to go across here, then right, get the key, which unlocks the moon. But of course we now still have to not kill ourselves, so we keep going right to about there-ish, and then go south. Oh! And let's try that again. So we go south there we go, and grab the moon just in time. Wonderful. With that, let's warp back up to the round tower. And this is probably one of our first times possessing a sentient being. If we talk to this thing, he says, "I'm travelling all over to glide from the highest places. This spot looks pretty good for a blood-pumping power dive. Scree!" I don't know why he says it like that, but there we go. This is Glidon, and we can indeed possess him. And what we do with him is we hold the jump button to glide. Which I cocked up there, because I didn't hold it right. And I think I'm possibly not going to make this. It's going to be real close. Oh, bollocks. Well, let's walk back up. Yeah, like an idiot, I pressed jump instead of holding it. You can hold forwards, and you will dive down, but unlike, say, the wing cap in Mario 64, you can't actually recover speed height once you've gone down again, so be aware of that. Down here now are some Goombas wearing hats. Take one of them, and we're going to go on quite the jaunt with this guy. So if we take him up to the sand pillar, there's something you'll remember from earlier on in this episode. Well, first off, actually down here, we have to quickly hop out of him, activate that bouncy thing, and he got shot by a bullet bill. Wonderful. We could also use a bullet bill to do what I was going to do there, but both of the potential ways we messed up there. So let's try that again. So if we lure this bill, we can use this actually to set off this, and then we hop up and remember the lovely Lady Goomba. Look at this. She swoons at the sight of our fine moustache, and is so overjoyed she gives us a moon. Entitled, Love in the Heart of the Desert. Wonderful. Now here, we were in that hole earlier, but we actually have another sand hole to go into here, which is, and this one is cheeky. Note some of the sand is flowing out of here. Sink down while holding forward, then once you start to slide underneath it, hammer A to make sure you don't sink into the sand entirely, and you can grab yourself Hidden Room in the Flowing Sands. God, we've got a lot of moons. Look at them on the left there. That's deeply enjoyable. Right, with that, what we want to do is head back up to the sand pillar. Now we want to just take a bullet bill. Oh, that one's dead. We want to take a bullet bill, and there's this hole in the stone wall. Fly through and use the bullet bill to crack open that cage. Ugh, and I've fallen down, so A, X, R, X. Wonderful, there we go. With that, let's head back up to where Glidon is, but we're not actually going to glide for now. What we actually want to do is hop down to the retro wall, which we actually can only enter these from you can exit on the sideway bits there, but you actually can't re-enter them. I pointed this out when we were here, and I was busy killing myself all the time, that there is some hidden shit that we can get to here. We could have got to this before, but I didn't, because my notes didn't say that, which means I probably thought you couldn't necessarily do that, but you certainly can get those before. The moon we're about to get, I don't know if this is here before World Peace or not, but there we go, let's hide under those things. And this one's towards the end here. You need to be a bit careful on this lift, wait for the lift to come along here, and hit it in there. Here's your moon. Wonderful. Right, with that, let's warp to... Can I warp from a 2D area? Yes, I can. Warp to the ruins entrance. And here, we're going to head all the way off to the side here. These dunes here are one of the final areas we haven't really explored, so let's do that. I suspect this episode has probably gone over my usual 20 minutes, but you know what? I was like... I think I timed it at like 30, and I was like, I'll just do it all rather than waiting for, like, trying to spend 2 episodes here. I think generally I'm going to try and have a rule of trying to polish up the... Oh, there we go. We've got a final seed here. I'm going to try and polish up most of the remaining moons in an area after World Peace in a single episode, so those episodes just may be a little on the longer side. Put that down briefly. Oh, that was nearly very bad. Nearly very bad indeed. Right, with that up here, let's head back towards town. And we can see how our other seeds are getting on as well. Wonderful. Ah, wonderful, they've both grown. So let's put our seed in there, and then these ones, just boop the top of them, and we will get Plaza Desert Gardening Ruin Seed. And over here... Come on. Desert gardening, Plaza seed. That final one's just going to take a bit of time to grow, but we'll get there. Let's walk to the round tower. Now here we're going to ignore the Glidon, and we're actually going to use the Spark Pylon to get into town. I mean, I could have basically done what I'm doing from in town anyway, but this is a slightly cooler way of doing it. This leads us onto the rooftop here. And we have this rocket. This is one of the most bizarre of the game's captures, that the fucking rocket grows a mustache. What does the rocket do? We hold A, and it takes us to a strange neighborhood. That's literally what the secret area is called. And this has also got a very Mario Sunshine feel, especially because it makes you go capless for the whole thing. It's one of very few times where you throw Cappy onto a scarecrow, and it doesn't activate like a... I was going to say, yeah, it doesn't activate like a timer challenge or anything like that. You just throw him on, and he just stays there for the whole level, and you can't really do the level without having kind of done that first. So I guess it's to stop you doing kind of like cheeky maneuvers of like using him for additional jump extension or something like that, much like the kind of floodless stuff. In here, I believe there's a Healy Heart, but we don't really need that. And I guess, is there an advantage to having the Goombas here, maybe, that you would get if you had Cappy? I don't really know. Oh, I could have saved that jump if I had Cappy, but I didn't. Game knows. I was actually quite fortunate that I died here, because, as ever, every secret area has 2 moons, and I missed one of the secret one here, because it's just up here, on top of that invisible block, if I can make the jump, which I'm struggling with. Oh my god, man. I'm having a shocker. I'm having an absolute shocker. There we go. Good lord, that took longer than it should have. Gives you above a strange neighborhood. Now we can continue on here, and there's just a couple more purplums to gather down at the bottom there, but you'll note they are actually rotating with the house itself, which means there's only a couple of specific positions in which you can actually get them, so we'll wait for them to rotate around to the left one. That was left one, it's not like I said left wine, which doesn't make much sense. There we go, and as it rotates around this way, there we go, we can capture them. Wonderful. Capture? Not how that works. With that, we just want to make it safely enough to the end of the level, which is quite straightforward. Indeed, there's only one more jump, but there we go, wonderful. Let's grab the moon, which is Strange Neighborhood. It's always strange that obviously you get the name of the secret from the main moon in the secret, but you always get like the secret of the Strange Neighborhood before you get the Strange Neighborhood's moon, which is slightly odd. But with that, we can return back down to the surface? Planet? Unclear. But there's a few more things to grab. We've actually got most of the purplums, and actually most of the moons, to be honest. But we can grab 4 purplums here, only 3 to get left, and we can spin Cappy on top of the fountain, because it is glowing. Hard to see from the water, but it is. Now, next up, this game likes to insert, like, strangely photorealistic things into it. We've seen the T-Rex, we've seen the humans, and now we see the Nintendog. Hit him with Cappy. You can't possess him, but he'll run off into the desert. At this point, follow him. After a bit, he'll stop, and he'll start plodding around and sniffing. He'll sniff a bit more. Come on, boy. What is it? What have you found? And he'll get excited. Ground pound where he digs, and bam! Found in the sand. Good dog. Wonderful. With that, we're going to head back up to this tower, but we're actually going to jump off the north bit to where the Sphinx was from a couple of episodes ago. Now, following World Peace, the Sphinx has a few more questions for us. So, how many coins are required to get her a Jaxi? That's 30. Then talk again, and he says, the foreign visitor travelling by car, what stopped his journey? His taxi was encased in ice. Up next, at the top of the inverted pyramid, how many statues of sand gallopers are there? There's 5 Jaxis, because one's missing. It's where you put the 6th one in order to get the moon up there. And then, with the final question he asks is, what is my name? And you'll notice his name is now question mark, question mark, question mark. It's a shame, because all 3 of the names it gives are better than his actual name. Mr. Question Face, the Suffix Wizard, Quiz Kitty, and the Sphinx. But it is indeed just the Sphinx. I really think he should be any of the other ones. The Suffix Wizard is particularly good. But yes, he gets a coin. We get a moon there for Sand Quiz. Wonderful. With that, we're actually going to head back into town and activate the dog again. Now this time, we don't want to follow the dog. We want the dog to follow us. Is he going to run off this way first? Yeah, he is going to run off this way first. I don't know if you can do this second one I'm doing until you've kind of like slightly reloaded after doing the first one, so let's wait for him to do his business here. I mean, he does look a bit like he's finding somewhere to shit. But hey, well done, boy. We found the first one. Now, he will start to follow us at this point. What we want to do is get to the top of this hill. He will stop occasionally and sniff for stuff. When he stops and sniffs, we have to wait for him, and we have to dig up with a ground pound whatever he excitedly finds. But after doing that a couple of times, we will make it to the top of the sand dune. And up here, he will start digging for a final time. No surprises for guessing what he's doing here. It'll always take you a couple of his intermediate stops to get up here, but once he's up here, he will always find a moon. And of course, this one is top of a dune. I thought it was called top of a dune. Good dog or something like that. Well, either way, let's head, I think, over to the Oasis, where there's one more thing I want to do, for which I'm going to switch to Joy-Cons. This was another part of the game I really struggled with until I realised I needed rumble and motion controls to do it properly. So, oh, it's time for fishing, because it's fishing time. It is indeed. Let's possess this Lakitu, add him to the captures list. So, what we want to do here is we lower the line, and you'll notice there's these shadows underneath the surface of the sand. They will try and eat your bobber. And what you're waiting for, you will have no idea of this, viewer, is rumble. They'll do small rumbles and they'll do big rumbles. You want to press Y when they do a big rumble. He's not even remotely taking this bite, but let's... Come on, man. Right, he's interested. That's a small. That was a big. And then I shake the controllers. And up comes a massive Cheep Cheep. If you get the biggest one down there, he will give you a power moon. Wonderful. Yeah, that's essentially impossible, because he does a random... It kind of alternates a random between large and small ones. There's no pattern to it. I think it's basically impossible without rumble, which was fun for me. You'll notice I'm coming up here, though, because indeed we can fish in the sand as well. And once again, we want to aim for the largest fish. Let's hook it up. Small. Large. There we go. And indeed, bafflingly, it's Captain Toad. Why he bit the line, I have no idea.
I got buried down there. I'm so lucky you came along. Oh, but you found a power moon under the sand. Thanks for the rescue.
Oh, my throat. Gets no easier. You're quite a catch, Captain Toad. Wonderful, thank you. So, we hop out of Lakitu, we're done with him, and we need to head back into town. Ow. So here we have a building that's actually marked on the map, is the slot. And this is a gambling game, but it's not really gambling, because there's a really easy trick to it. So we talk to this guy, and he says, pay some slots, it's 10 coins to play. What do you say? A power moon can be won. Try it, it's fun. Yay! Slots away. He likes to rhyme, most of the time. So here it goes, same pattern. Moon, heart, coin, heart. Moon, heart, coin, heart. That second heart is your timing, and you want to stand on the left here. So you go moon, heart, coin, heart. Moon, heart, coin, heart. Moon, heart, coin, heart. Moon! There you go. Because they appear in a line from the left, so starting at the left is obviously the way to get that moon. Now we want to head all the way out to the kind of western desert again, because there's some baffling purple coins there for our final 3 perps of the kingdom. And here they are. Genuinely, if anyone has any idea how you're supposed to get these without killing yourself, fascinated to know. But if you jump off, throw Cappy at the right time, you'll get them and die in the process. There must be some way of doing it, never figured it out. But either way, with that takes us handily back to Tostarena. So we've got a few things to pick up here. Our final plant is not ready. There are 2 options here. Number 1 is wait around until it's ready. Number 2 is it doesn't actually time 20 minutes in real time. It times 20 minutes on the Switch's clock. So if we go to System, then we go to Date and Time, Time Zone, we want to, no, don't synchronize it manually, Date and Time, let's say we'll dial it forward by a couple of hours, that should do it. Upon doing so, look at that! It magically grows. Wonderful. The fact that you can jeb it in that way is surprising, but there we go. I spat on the mic. That's how surprised I was. And I've done it a couple of times before. Don't worry, it's not actually 2 in the morning. I'm not a maniac. I like sleep because I'm old. With that, we are done here. We've actually got every moon I wanted to, so I'm just going to buy the final few things from Trace Cap, the sticker, and the little things which I'll actually show off in a second because we've not really seen it yet. This was the point. So you might remember at the end of episode 3, now we're at the end of episode 6, my capture failed. This is as far as I got in that recording session. So I played the entirety of the Sand Kingdom, and then was like, my recording crapped out at the beginning of the Sand Kingdom. So this is my second time doing it, which is fun. Hopefully that wasn't really very noticeable. The same thing actually happened to me during the final episode of Mass Effect 3. I recorded that episode a second time. And again, I didn't even want to draw attention to it, so hopefully no one noticed it. But if we head inside, we can see the various things we've got. So you can see the T-Rex and the Triceratops to the right there from the Jurassic Kingdom, Cascade Kingdom. We got the Top Hat Tower and the Frog Hat from the Cap Kingdom, and now we have got a Jaxi and a rotating pyramid from the Sand Kingdom. So we start building up this area inside as we gather Purplums, which is quite nice. The Odyssey needs 16 more moons to reach the next kingdom. I suspect we've got a few more than that. Oh, that's deeply satisfying. Oh, juice up, you beautiful bastard. Wonderful, the Odyssey has powered up. And with that, we actually get the option of a fork in the road. Oh, we've hit a proverbial fork. It's not a proverbial fork in the road, it's an actual literal fork in the road. Do we think Bowser went to the Wooded Kingdom or the Lake Kingdom? Find out next time on Let's Play Super Mario Odyssey. Thank you very much, and good day.